Hey everyone, my name's Gemma. Thought I'd do a video on a home party that I did on the weekend and how I did it and what I do differently next time, because there's definitely things I do differently. So it was my sister that wanted it, so I obliged and did an in-home for her. And I actually ended up doing $745 in sales, and I booked 2 parties off of it. So that was actually really good. And now I'm like $200 off getting my Fast Start PRS. So woohoo. I ended up with just my presenter's kit. I had ordered the Skin in the Game kit in February, and it got held up in that big order that happened, and I stalked Australia Post on the Friday like a crazy lady trying to intercept the parcel, and I couldn't. And then of course it did show up Monday and the party was Sunday, but it was what it was, and I just went with it. There was a really great video. I was feeling really stuck, and there was a really great video the other week that I'll try and post down below that kind of got my imagination flowing about what I could do. So I did use that for a lot, and that was really good because they just did it pretending that they just had their presenter's kit too. So I had my presenter's kit. I did have a lip stain and a lip liner. That was it. I actually think you do need more for in-home parties. I think you need a foundation, a concealer, blending buds or something like that. Yeah, I do feel it's not much to show, in my opinion. Anyway, so obviously you can see vintage is kind of my theme, so I've branded myself as the Vintage Circle. So I was all hair set in my vintage dress, and I set up the area like a vintage boudoir dressing table. So I had lace and I had pearls and I had a hand fan, and a purse spilling out with some costume jewelry of mine, and it actually just made that area look really fulsome. And I think if I just stood the kit, it would have been like, So I actually made it really intricate, and everyone was like, oh, having a look. And I did have a big old vintage mirror that I did end up forgetting, but hey, it worked. So that was kind of my setup. So because I didn't have a lot of stuff, what was great was my sister had Apple TV, so we actually AirPlayed my phone onto her TV, so I could pull up pictures. I played a few videos. I played Jenny Peterson's video of her covering, the one of her covering her face, and the concealer with the little peekaboo tattoo trick, and a blending buds video. And it was good because I could just pull up some pictures, like the lip stains on people. I could pull up the lip stains and the bonbons, pulled up the bonbons, and just, a few different colours like that. So my sister had her foundation on. We just didn't talk about the fact that we didn't have foundation. I started at the skincare, so I did have the skincare samples. So I went through, the skincare range, let them have a touch and a feel. I did the primer trick on my hand, with the eyeshadow, eyeshadow with no primer, and with primer, and I tested it beforehand to make sure it actually worked, and it does. So, and they were like, what? And I did it on just one of the girls' hands, so they were really enthralled with that, so that was great. And I just used eyeshadow out of the palette, and then I put eyeshadow on my sister. So I did, I followed the girls from the other video and did confident on the outside and sexy on the inside. And I guess if I'm going to do more in-home, probably they're things I want to know, as well as have a bit more confidence on doing eyeshadows and things. But that I just followed that, and everyone was like, oh, because it did look so good. And then we used the samples of the blushes, and we actually put a different colour on each cheek so we could see. And then she put the mascara on. So she used mine, and she's my sister, so I hope I know where she's been. But I am going to get a sanitizing spray. So she did that, and then seeing that in action, everyone was like, whoa! And they were a bit mind blown with that. And then she put my lip stain on, which was good. And we talked, and then when the lips, I'm a bit of a lipstick purist, but I'm addicted to lip stains. We talked about exfoliating lips and putting a balm on, and you know, some people say, oh, it doesn't stay on, and then, you know, I talked about the importance of propping the lips and lining the lips. We talked about that, and then putting the lipstick on. So that was a good little trick of the trade for them. And then I had a laptop set up on the dining table, and then I brought them some food over that Amy had provided, and I went and sat at the laptop and said, come and see me when you're ready. And I sold Stroke of Beauty collection. I sold lip stain sets. I sold also, but yeah, $745. And before the party, my sister had invited everyone through a Facebook event. So what I actually did was put up my little video, my little welcome video, and why unique, and posted a bit about the mascara and just not heaps, just a few different things to kind of like start stirring the pot a bit. And I posted a few photos. I posted myself with a photo of myself in Saucy and my lip stain, and I sold one off that, and I actually had 2 orders before the party started. So my sister had qualified before the party started practically. I think she was maybe $20 odd off, which was great. And I actually booked 2 parties off people who couldn't come. So that was really beneficial, having that little Facebook event there and just, you know, prying. What I do differently next time, not that I'd do differently, more that I'd add, it was a bit, you know, that the start when it's a bit of an awkward silence and they're feeling a bit nervous and awkward, and I would actually bring some music. So I've got a little portable speaker that plays through Bluetooth. I've got a stain on my thumb. And I would play some music. So I'm doing vintage themes. That's my thing. So I would play some burlesque instrumental, some kind of 50s instrumental, just in the background to just kind of stop the birds and the crickets tweeting at that initial point when everyone was a bit nervous as they came in. So that was something that I definitely do next time. And I think, I mean, I've not been with Unique very long, and I did look this up, but then I forgot in the party, like, the ingredients of what's actually in a lot of the things. So like green tea in the fibre lashes and just a few things like that. And I'd actually probably just have a sheet with the picture of it and a couple of key ingredients, so I could just say, I don't know, moisturiser is blah, 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 blah. And I just forgot a lot of that. I don't know, it just, I think with everything else, and it was my first party and I was stressed because I only had the presenter's kit and I forgot that kind of stuff. So I know I need to get better on that. And then I just kind of presented the Unique makeup and did Amy's makeup and did it like that. But what I'm going to do next time, because I've got this vintage branding, the Vintage Circle, I am going to actually do a bit of a few different things, so they can have maybe a pin-up kind of tutorial workshop, or, you know, maybe a makeup and history, women in history through time and what they used to do, because I just know a lot of that stuff, and actually kind of put a bit of theme around it, and almost, not quite, but almost make Unique a bit part them selling, well, definitely selling the makeup in the background, not just presenting the makeup. So that's what I'm definitely going to do. So one of my parties is that I've booked off this one, she really wants in home, so I am going to do it. Turn it down and go from there. So I'm definitely going to offer that. I want to know, have that kind of little pin-up tutorial, or, you know, the women in makeup and history and time. There's a lot of interesting facts when the war happened, how women survived and still looked immaculate, and things that they used to do. Then I want to know more about the products. Not that I want to know more, because I had looked it up, but I need a list there for me to remind me. And then I'm going to do the music. But now I've got my skin in the game pack, I've got extra. So it was great having those cardboard pieces there. So I'm going to order a proper blush, the mineral pigments, and the liquid eyeliner. There was something else I was going to buy that just to add to my kit because just for those home parties. And I'm totally using the Skin in the Game pack, and I'll just be using it in my parties as a presentation. And I'm going to have a few different foundations. So I've got Scarlet and I've got Organza. Scarlet's coming, and I'm going to get a darker one. And then if anyone's a different shade, I'm going to do a bit of a mix and say, you know, I'm going to mix it together. And I got that tip off someone else when I was researching parties. So anyway, that's what I did. That's what I'm going to do differently next time. I was happy with 745 PRS and 2 parties off that, so that was great. There was only like 4 people attending plus the host, so I was really a bit on edge about how much we were going to make. Lucky I made those 2 sales before, but yeah, it goes to show it's awesome. So yeah, I'll post a comment of what my table looked like below, and I'll try and find that other video. That was a really good starting place. So much love.